Welcome to Subramani. Few people in their 50s have spoken with a lot of concern about their retirement portfolio and what would happen to them because inflation is high and we are in the bear market. Then you suddenly realize that some people can live in India and completely think American because American websites are playing up inflation. Of course, they have inflation, there is no doubt. A country with 2%, 3% inflation suddenly sees 9% and 10% inflation. They all admit that it is temporary because the 10-year GSEC of the US 10-year GSEC is just at 3.10, 3.15. It's not really very high. So, which means people think that this inflation is transitory, but many Indians are worried about inflation and a bear market. Both of them are not there in India. Yes, we have inflation, but we still are not in the bear market. I am not even saying when I am recording this on a Monday morning, I do not even know whether we are in a recession. By Friday, whether we will be in a recession, I am not talking about that. But right now, we are not in a recession, and it doesn't look like we are in a recession. We have decent demand growth, our corporate profits are increasing. The gap between our 10-year bond and our inflation is not very high. So, do we have to worry about the macros? Yes, of course you have to worry about the macros, especially in the whole world if things are not going too great. If China is having problems, Europe is having problems, US is having problems, India will obviously have problems. There is no doubt about that. But right now, many Indians are tuned into US, so they worried about inflation and bear market. Yes, it's a terrible combination to have both inflation and bear market because you don't feel like selling your assets, you don't feel like selling your real estate because it is down, and unfortunately in real estate you cannot sell it partially. If you have a house costing 3 crores and you need money, you will have to sell it for 3 crores or 2.90, whatever is the best offer, right? You cannot say I will sell only partially, which you can do in case of mutual funds. So what are the worries? Yes, first is inflation and not knowing which asset classes will preserve your money against inflation. Very clearly it is real estate apart from equities. Equities is the best, but real estate could be a very close second, but definitely not debt, right? So with inflation, will equity market suffer? Yes, it will suffer in the short run. In the long run, the equity market guy has to be compensated for inflation, so he will ask and demand and get higher return than just inflation. So in the longer run it won't matter, but in the short run, if it worries you, you should do your asset allocation accordingly, because your asset allocation should let you eat and let you sleep peacefully. If that is not happening, your asset allocation is wrong. So go and check your asset allocation, see how much you have in equity, how much you have in debt, right? So, and see how much do you need. If you're 80 years old, my answer is going to be very different from a 60-year-old and very different for a 40-year-old, right? So for each person the requirement could be very different, so be careful about that.